Today we are going to talk about the space race by Walker, Jacks, Jessica, and Mackenzie. The space race is an event between 1957 and 1975. Space race is a competition of space exploration. Beginning in the late 1950s, space would become another dramatic arena for this competition as each side sought to prove the superiority of its technology, its military firepower, and by extension, and by its political economic system. By the mid-1950s, the United States and the Soviet Union had worked its way into the fabric of everyday life in both countries, fueled by the arms race and the growing threat of nuclear weapons, wide-ranging media. These tensions would continue throughout the space race. While Kennedy was president, the United States and the Soviet Union entered the space race. The space race was to send people into space. President Kennedy promised the United States would beat the Soviet Union to the moon. The Apollo moon program fulfilled that promise. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon, telling people on Earth, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." After Apollo 11 landed on the moon's surface in July 1969, 6 more Apollo missions followed by the end of 1972. The most famous was Apollo 13, whose crew managed to survive in the module on the way to the moon. From 1961 to 1964, NASA's new budget was increased almost 500%, and the lunar landing program eventually involved employees of industrial universal contractors. Apollo suffered in a setback in January 1967 when 3 astronauts were killed after their spacecraft caught on fire during a launch simulation.